Yo, what is up? It's Sammy. I'm here with some more exclusive Monster Hunter World footage. Today, I have some Switch Axe gameplay against Anjanath for you all. My buddy SimplyAJ is the one hunting here, so make sure to check him out in the links in the description too. So he's a Switch Axe main, so that's the weapon he went to grab. He's just checking out some of the other armor and weapon stuff here. I am going to have a video, I mentioned it before as well, just going over some of the armor menu options that I looked into when I was playing. I'll most likely extract some of the data from this video too and go deeper into it. So he's just switching into Anjanath armor. He kept the Jagras headpiece on, which is just kind of cool to see how you can just mix and match whenever you want. And I don't think he looks at all of his skills, but he still has skills because there's just a full skill on the headpiece. So right here, he's going through looking at the mantles. And I didn't do this when I was playing, but he went through and did the play movie, which was awesome. I wanted to see that. So it's cool to see. You can just see a preview of like how all this stuff works. So right here, they're just showing off Rocksteady and how you can take hits and things like that. They showed the glider mantle, challenger mantle. It's cool to see that you can just get a preview of what everything does. I think you can see some of the weapons too. When you highlight over them, you can hit play movie.
You can use the item box to manage your inventory.
Right there, it was cool. You can see you can look into your item box and take stuff out when you're in the camp, which is awesome as well. So you can have access to pretty much everything, it looks like.
The Switch Axe has two forms, axe and sword. You can power up the sword attacks by injecting them with file energy.
Looks like he's just getting a feel for how the weapon works and moves a bit differently. All the weapons feel familiar, but they all have their new things and little changes just with the control scheme and just new attacks and stuff too. So I'm sure he was just getting situated as well. After talking to AJ after he hunted, I think the thing that was the most different from before was that radio menu. Since you just hold L, and then once you start moving the right stick, the radio menu will come up. And you don't have to use it. You can just use square and circle, but it shows up the moment you move that right stick. So I think the whole time he was playing, he thought it was under the configuration that you had to use it. So there's a couple times where I'll like put on a mantle or like pull out the whetstone when he was trying to take like a potion and stuff like that. Because even when I was playing at the radio menu, just still takes some getting used to. But I think once we're all used to it, it's super handy. It'll let you get to things much quicker. So right here, he's like walking around, I think, looking for some hints and stuff like that. But like right there, you saw the hunter kind of stood and looked over the water. I don't know if that's like an animation, meaning there's hints nearby or just maybe there's a good view to look at with the water. But it's cool to see little details like that just in the hunter animations. Like I know there's an animation he might. Yeah, he just did it right there. When you walk through tall grass, you kind of move your hands through it to wade through the grass and stuff like that. Just a lot of those details are just so nice to see.
In no time.
Yeah, just the way this world looks, like you see all those bats and there was that fish that just jumped in the water. Like I'm pretty sure you can catch all of that stuff too. So like everything you see is pretty much there's some form of interaction, which is just so cool.
Okay, you know what you have to do. Get in there and do your stuff.
So as soon as he gets in here, the Anjanath Jagger shows up, and they just start going to town against each other and fighting. Just immediately, he's right there already grabbing them. And cool right here, you can tell is he's doing, he's doing the normal damage he usually does. So it's not like when they're in a fighting animation, they take like reduced damage or anything like that. Kind of like how mounting was in previous games when a monster was being mounted, you either weren't supposed to hit him or they didn't take damage during that. It looks like even if they're in the middle of doing some other kind of animation, you just still can do all your normal damage. Cool change with the switch axe is you can see on the top left there's that the normal bar you have when you're using switch axe, but there's kind of this weapon outline up there, and it highlights and glows a little bit. So when that meter is filling up, you fill it up by attacking in sword mode, that outline. And once that fills up, when you do your file burst in sword mode, you like hop onto the monster and kind of blast into whatever part you just hopped on, and then you shoot off. And it's this cool animation. But what's cool with that is it encourages you to switch kind of between both modes more frequently rather than just staying in axe until it builds up, do a file burst, and then that's it. What was cool right there, this is actually the first time I've seen this, I think in any videos, was I think I'm pretty sure it was by accident, but he used a health booster, which was cool to see how it works. It looks like it's pretty much the Hunter's Oasis art from Generations. You just put it down and then you stand in it and you get some health, which is nice that you can just have that on there instead of like a mantle, and you just drop that and heal the party. Also looks like it lasts for quite a bit of time as well. Saw how he put that mantle on and he was trying to get a health pot. It's just getting used to that radio menu. A little neat thing right there, when the hunter went to drink that potion, they pulled an actual cup out, and he actually flips the top open up before he starts drinking out of it. Like I was saying earlier with the animations of looking out into the water and just wading through like the plants, it's really nice to see all these little details they really took and put into the game. Like it seems like they put so much love and care into it as opposed to, you know, making the cool stuff just happen. There's these little details that you might not even notice until you're 50 hours in the game. You're just like, wow, I never knew that was there. I mean, I've watched so much gameplay already, and I never noticed that potion cap flip thing until just now. Another neat change is your status icons for yourself. They show up top on the left there next to your name, so you can see all of them spread out. You don't have to wait for them to cycle through like you used to. So if you had like attack, defense, wind press, and then regeneration, you'd have to wait and see if you still had it after they all switch. Kind of what you see on your teammates, but it's much more important to know if you have that for yourself. There's a cool attack right there he just did. It looked like it was like a fade slash, but it also transformed from sword into axe mode. So that's a really nice mobility attack. It looks like they added for Switch Axe. So lets you do similar to like the longsword fade slash where you jump backwards a bit and it would help you reposition yourself. It also looks like it transformed you from sword back into axe mode too, which is awesome. So I'm not sure if this is a demo thing or if this will be a permanent thing, but right there you can see the whetstone icon's infinite. Again, more of those little details. I've watched so much of the game, I haven't noticed that until watching this playthrough. It looks like the whetstones are infinite, so I hope that's a permanent thing. Because to be honest, it's just one of those things where if you have a melee weapon, you always want to have whetstones. There's never a situation where you don't want them. So making them just infinite, you just got to remember to use them, just cuts down on those little nuances that were always there but not really necessary. So it'd be cool if that's a permanent thing and not just a demo build thing. See right there, you see when he's doing the file burst, before it's charged up, it was filling that outline. So when the more you use the sword mode before it's filled up, it builds that meter so then you can do that blast where you just hop onto the monster. So right here, this is that attack. It lasts for a really long time and looks so cool. So you like do your file burst when you have that meter filled all the way up and you just hop onto the monster and just blast right onto whatever body part you hopped onto. So it looks like it did a bunch of explosions of about like 5 damage, maybe about 10 of those. And then it finished with a big blast of like 43 and did that cool slide animation when you hopped off to stab the sword into the ground, which is just a really cool looking move.
Our team's health is dropping. Use life powder to patch them up.
Yeah, like I mentioned it before, but it's just so nice seeing them implement things like arts, even if they didn't exactly exist, but arts and things like that, or even things similar to styles, just into the gameplay, so you don't have to wait necessarily for specific art to charge. Just the way you play the weapon helps you use those cool moves. Just running around like this just shows how vast this map is and how complex it is. Which is just really nice that it's not like one of those things where you're just like, I know where everything is. Like it'll definitely take some time before you really know the maps like that. So right here is an example of what I was talking about, the radio menu. Pretty sure he wanted to put a large barrel bomb down there, but flick the stick up by accident a little bit and then use the whetstone instead. What's super cool is you see on the top there's that timer. Every 10 seconds it flips and that counts for 10 seconds. So you actually know exactly how much time you have without having to open the menu up. It was a cool, definitely a cool finished screen though. But yeah, thank you guys for checking the video out. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to do like, comment, subscribe, all that cool stuff. And hopefully I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.